Hey bike fam, ready to install your shiny new Sprindex? Well, it's really easy. For my bike, it did take just a few more minutes because we had to switch out the air shock to a coil shock. But if you're just coming from a traditional coil to the Sprindex, it's gonna take less than 5 minutes. I have Carl, who's one of the inventors, who's gonna show you how.
The internal diameter of springs for rock shocks is different than for Fox, X-Fusion, and DVO and Cane Creek. So these adapters do two things. They allow you to fit pretty much every shock brand out there. And at the same time, they are also made of slippery Delrin, because when Delrin, it's a slippery material. And when a spring compresses a lot, there's a little bit of turning the end wants to do, and this allows that to happen. It's like a spring windup. So it actually helps the performance as well. So because we are going to fit a DVO, find the one that it actually says like DVO, and we will put that on. Put the coil on either direction you prefer, and then put the other performance adapter on and the slotted collar. This is the preload ring, and some people mistake preload for spring rate. The preload, it's different. This preload doesn't change the spring rate. All it does is changes the starting force of movement. So if you preload this a whole lot, you ruin the small bump absorption. So don't do that. What you want to do is you want to preload it just enough to take out any play, and that's all. Now we're ready to install it.
So easy.
It's really not a big deal with most frames. The Sprindex can go this way or this way. If you have a piggyback like that, you have better access if you put it this direction. But sometimes you've got frames where the shock is going through the middle of something, in which case you need to flip it around. It's just more convenient access to adjusting Sprindex if you put it like this on a bike like this, where you have the room. So I'm just gonna tighten this and tighten this. So to adjust it, if you wanted to, you would hold the coil still and you would move it like this, and you would ride, and if you found it was a little too stiff, you could back it off or even just go one turn.
Wasn't that easy? So simple, you guys. It's a great little switch and an awesome product. And this is still my favorite part. The bounce factor, or lack thereof, right? Look at that. Just to show you a difference, I've got my other bike here that has an air shock. And this one has 100 millimeters of travel. Not horrible, but you definitely can see it. When I lock the shock out, it's a little more bouncy. So you definitely want to have that shock on. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video or out on the trails. Take care.